Welcome back today, guys, to the channel. Gran Turismo 7 here on the PlayStation 5 World Series Nations Cup round number 2. Here on Fiji International Speedway. I actually won my very first race. Spoiler alert, but I wanted to showcase what went down and how I ended up winning this race for today. Huge thanks for coming around for today, and of course, don't forget to slap that like button. So Mazda 3 Group 4 is here at the starting line on Fiji. Now, let's just pause this right now because, for one, I'm at the front of the pack. This has never been something that I've ever been comfortable with, let alone going into turn 1 here on Fiji. And obviously, as you guys know, the rundown into turn 1 is extremely dangerous. Thankfully, I've put a little bit of work into this track in these last few nights. I've been going through trying to get these lap times down, so I felt confident going into this. Now, obviously, I was racing in the bumper view for this one here, so if we are driving, this would be my view going into turn 1. I wanted to eliminate as much as I could from my focus, that would distract me coming into turn 1. And obviously, I've been finding myself just faster being in that front bumper view. Now, let's just pause it right here. I'm not going to do this much, but this first corner really did present the entire race afterwards. And we had two different Bens back there. We had Ben and then Ben Rivers trying to get into this flow. And if we go back a little bit, we can see just the cluster that becomes back here. Just watch this here one more time from the Hooters Mobile. Nice. Just what? P7 coming into the run. You can see me at the front. And oh my, Pat Brady with a downtown long bomb. Holy, you do not want to be a part of those. And thankfully, I found myself out of that. Now, this is where the battle begins. You guys can see up front here, we have 4 cars chasing me down, and I'm trying to run as much of a defensive line as I can here without getting taken out and getting past, and then, the cluster of cars. So I didn't want to focus on being slow because I knew some of these corners I wasn't the fastest coming through, but I was holding my line to the fact that they couldn't really get by. Now, this is where I started to just say, you know what, if you want to get by, if you are the faster car, go for it, go through. But it didn't seem like he wanted to do much of it here. So if we go back, we have 2 other cars behind here. We have Mr. Hellehammer, and this is still lap 1. So we have P4 and P5 also back here. I'm going to try to turn in a little bit early so I avoid that, obviously. And then we had Ben Rivers back here in the QC, just missing that secondary bump coming in. But did a really great job avoiding that. 4 ways are present and just a snake of cars back there. Now, obviously, this is just the beginning. I did run a little bit too wide, and I think I caused Ben to do the same. And he's going to pressure me on this inside lap. And at this point, I didn't really see him there. I ran a little bit kind of wide on that line. I'm kind of starting to look back a little bit now, focusing on him. So I'm trying to just get back into the groove here, and he ends up passing me on this. And I say, you know what? Fair play. You do you. And I'm going to try to just catch up to this. And that's really what I do best in these situations, is chasing the car. As long as the car in front of me I can trust into these runs, I'm great. But I have been running pretty consistent on these tracks thanks to GT7 with their beautiful assist features, right? I'm not going to lie, I have been running with, I do believe, the stability assist on for this race, and I think the counter steer assist has been on a little bit as well too. So it has made it a lot more consistent, and I just want to avoid getting spun out from other drivers. And right here, I'm pressuring going into turn 1, and I will take this on that inside. I don't think he really seen or wanted that to happen, but we ended up making it happen. I think I pressured him coming in here. I did a lot of this race, just really getting up behind people and making them think about what I was going to do. And I think that's, half the battle is, that kind of mind games with that other driver, is seeing how they're going to react. Because I know when I get people behind me, I get nervous, right? I start kind of panicking. My heart starts racing. The camera angle even starts to shrink in. You have the black bars come around you there, right? So it's definitely pressure. And you can see me here. I'm kind of situating, trying to find my path on this. First 2 laps, not good on that section. And he's going to end up going wide as well. So we both kind of are screwing up on different corners. Personally, I find that whole section quite easy compared to what we just ran through. But, this was a fun track, though. And I think it was, 11 laps on here? We had to pit 1 time. So that was one of the mandatory things. We started on racing hards on this, and it was weird because you'll see this a little bit down the road, but a lot of the drivers chose to pit extremely early on this race, and I don't know why they decided to do that, but it kind of worked out in my favor, and we're going to find out here in a second. But we're just pressuring Ben as much as I can, and it's cool though that I could look back and watch these replays in different camera angles on this race. Because obviously these Nation Cup races are fun. They're competitive as well too. You only have really one opportunity. I was out all day, so I got home and I was only able to run, I think, the second to last time slot. And if I didn't do well on this race, I mean, it was basically back to the drawing board for that last race of the night. So it was really nice that I ended up winning this race. But it wasn't the easiest of races, but it also was at the same time. But Ben Rivas, so we were just sticking to this man like glue, and I had multiple opportunities that I could pass him, and right here, look at me, right? I'm just letting him know. I'm swerving back here, saying, Ben, what's up? How you doing, right? We are in for the long haul. I had 3 cars behind me. I consistently were looking at those intervals, and GT does a great job doing that in terms of, you know, allowing you to see the car behind you and in front of you, and that gap just started to get bigger and bigger behind us. And that was great news, because obviously that gave me a little bit of slippage room where I could, you know, maybe make a mistake and stay in podium. And it also gave me an opportunity to run with Ben here and try to pressure and gain a little bit more on him and just kind of maybe psych him out, push him off the road. Well, not physically push him off, but within the car, right? Try to see if I can do anything to shake up his driving style, because it's happened to me many times, right? It definitely has. You get those aggressive drivers that just will not leave your bumper. I was that guy this race, and you're going to see it. I'm not too close to him right now, but we do get close on the straights going into turn 1, really just trying to push that air at him and trying to see if I can make something happen here. And we're going to have a look back, right? The gap is getting bigger and bigger. That's a cool antenna view, though. It's a very interesting view. I didn't realize the antenna was that big on this car. Jeez, was a ghost mount out there? Damn, man. We need a 360 camera on this thing, which I'd like to get for this season for the drift events. If you guys would like to see it, let me know in the comment section. I think it'd be really cool to have a 360 cam on the car. And right here, look at us, just starting to giddy up on these. And this is where it really comes in handy. Being right behind him here is the slipstream. Obviously, we're going to get up to, I think, 193, 95 almost on these straights. Really does help in separating yourself from the pack. Now, look at these guys back there. They're pitting. They're pitting. There is no need to be pitting this early in this race, I found, right? We're probably on lap, what, 4 or 5? Unfortunately, it doesn't show me the laps. I wish it did. I really do, because I think right here, what, 4? We're on racing hards. My tires at the time were not getting run down. They were doing very well. I didn't really have any grip issues. We were still consistently putting time on there. And you will see Ben, he is getting a little bit ahead of me here. I don't really know what happened. I think I just kind of let off, and then right here, he kept struggling on this corner. I don't know what it was, but you got to tuck yourself in. Otherwise, you're going to lose all that momentum coming into this section here, and he did a lot of those times. I love Fiji. I really do. The braking points, we went a little wide, but you want to go wide to keep speed coming out. Couldn't figure that corner out. I think that was one of the hardest corners for me. This series was that corner coming out of it and trying to full that outside clip and just really carrying that speed out of there. Traction control was on as well for this race. I think I was pushing maybe a 2 or 3 on the traction control. Really helps with consistency for me. I'm tired of losing these races due to, you know, spinning out or getting spun out. So I try to keep the assists on to keep the racing to a maximum, right? We want as much grip as we can. We don't want the tires starting to squeal out and such. Right here, trying to get as close as I can as well too, right? I felt like I did a really good job just staying right with him here, letting him know I'm here. I'm about a car lengths away, but all it takes is one little screw up in order to get that happening. And look at this right here, just staying here, trying to not use as much tire as well. He has to use way more tire than we do, and he thought I was going to maybe pit on that. I thought he was going to pit. He didn't, which again, there's no need to. Look at, there's another guy pitting back there. You don't need to pit. We don't even have fuel on this race. So it was very, I mean, I understand that I'm in probably the lowest lobby tier on these races. So, I mean, again, I'm going to take these wins as long as I can get them, because I know as soon as I get up to the upper tiers, I'm done. I will be a back marker car, right? But for right now, though, we're driving with guys that think their tires are out, I guess, right? I mean, I'm not understanding their thought process on this race. Maybe they thought they were going to out pit stop us at, the end of the race, but we only needed one change. At this pace that I was on, I was down to just leave the tires on until lap 9 or 10. I think it was 11 lap race on this. So realistically, I just wanted to stay behind Ben as long as I could. Right? I mean, whatever Ben was going to do, I was going to do. Even on this back straight here, there's no need to. And I think that's a lot of the times where I get into issues is where I try to start passing people I start making those unnecessary moves. And as I'm saying that, oh my god, I forgot that I did that. We need to go back and watch that real quick. I can't believe I saved that. I remember that now. I hit the, yeah, look at that. Just a little bit of the grass. Full drift mode. And saved, oh my god. That was, yeah. That was a little scary on that. I was starting to just kind of, you know, I was in my own head right there just thinking. I was like, we're just cruising together. Little do you know, you touch a little bit on that tire on the grass, you start to brake at the same time. It's not a good combination. Look at this. Let's see what he saw in that view. I'm curious. I just braked a little late, and look at me. Oh my god. Wild. And yeah, staying with, trying to just stay focused, head down. Let's see how long it takes me to catch back up here. I'm curious. Tires are also hot too. I was looking at my tires. One of the tires maybe got a little bit of wear, but again though, the tires that we had on this car, I was impressed with. I didn't have any issues at all in terms of wear. And it was just like I said, it was weird that people pitted so early on this. And I do believe he may even pit on this lap. I think he might. And this is where the race is going to change if he does. Is he pitting? He's pitting. Look at this. Look at him. This is where he lost the race because I said no. I said I'm not doing that. I knew. I felt it in my heart on this race. I did not need to pit. There was no need. And he hit the wall. Jeez. So he's going to go ahead and pit. Let's go ahead and watch his pit stop. How is his pit stop here? Let's at least see if it was a good one. You know what? It takes forever. Let's just wait. So this is me coming down turn one, thinking about this race right now. This race is in the bag, basically, to me at least. Let's have a quick look here. Is he still in the pits? He is too. He's just getting there now. And I'm curious to see where he came out of. Because this was my thought process. You don't want to get caught in the pack of cars. That is the last place that you want to be in coming out of this. And look at this. He has two cars inbound here. Remember here, he was just leading the race. And oh no, Ben. Burn Buns coming on in here. And Ben's found Ben again. Look at this. Both Bens here. Let's see how he does here. Does he recover on this corner? He's going to get a little bump. Oh, no. See, this is where I did not want to be. I am very happy I continued on my way. Now, obviously, this is not the most fun race, mind you, right? But we're here to win. Right? We're here to Max Verstappen this thing, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. Look at how much time I have left here. So, half a race left right now. Nations Cup, it's an important race right now. I'm feeling pretty good. We just need to stay focused. Just banging out lap times. Banging them out. Just one after the other. Feeling good about my day. And this is where I decided to come in. What, lap 9 or 10 coming in? And, right, of course, my process is we have about 14-second gap on the car behind us right now. We were pulling throughout every single lap that I had with those old tires on, which was interesting, right? I was very happy about my consistency on here. My pace was incredible compared to everybody on this race, so I was very happy about that. But I was gaining, so I was like, you know what? Let's wait on the tire change at the very end, and that's exactly what we did. So we're coming in here with 2 laps to go with a fresh set of racing hard tires. Has to be the same tires, just need to be a new set of tires. So we're out, and this is where it got a little bit hectic here. So we are coming out here. My math was perfect. Look at these guys coming out. We have 4 cars coming down the straight here. I needed those extra seconds in order to get away from the pack. Again, I didn't want to be sucked in to that backpack here. And this is where I got a little bit confused though, because I'm happy, right? I'm sitting here thinking, wow, I'm doing well. I got out front, the pit stop's over, but I'm not in first place right now. Who could be in first place, right? Look at me. I'm in second. Which should it be though? I have 3rd place right behind me, 4th and then 5th back there as well too. So these guys are chomping at the bit, right? They see me rolling up here. They're probably not too happy. Yep, there I go. So let's just have a peek at who's in first place here. Look at this guy. Who is this guy? He hasn't even pitted yet. He is still on his old set of tires that he's been on the entire race. So my guess is that this man did not read the brochure for the night's race. And he came in, he registered for the Nations Cup, he qualified, he spent all his time on here, but failed to change his tires. And it's a sad day because I've been there. I've done that before, right? Not anymore. I check those every single race. I check the fuel, I check the tires, I even check the weather now, because you never know what the weather's going to throw at you, especially in these Nation Cup races. But long story short, we held it down. I got very close to the car that did not change his tires, and at the end of it, he ends up getting that full penalty for not changing tires. Obviously, you can't go a full race and not change your tires when it is permitted. So he's excited at this point. He's coming around here. I'm just catching him on the final lap here with my fresh set here. So I've done my pit stop, and I'm about to almost pass him without him even tire change. Very happy with my pace this race. Fiji is also, I guess, one of my favorite races. I've already done the circuit experience on here. I was putting in my own lap times on here, so I was definitely confident coming into this one, and it showed, I felt like, right? You put in the work, you get results out here. That's the way it goes. AlphaTauri is going to be very happy with my performance of the night out here, man. Huge thanks for coming around, though, like I said, for today's episode. And that's going to be it here. We had White Morpheus just probably staring me down, wondering what's happening, but he moved down to 14th. Yeah, he's probably not too happy on that one there. 16, that's what happened. You got to make your tire change. Otherwise, you go to the bottom of the pack. If you don't do your tires, you might as well not even finish the race, right? With that being said, huge thanks for coming around for today. We're going to get our rewards, I think, in a couple days. Right, of course, we had our ending cutscene, our first place trophy as well, too. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't automatically show up on the account. So I'm currently waiting for a silver trophy and a gold trophy. The next race is going to be on the 20th of January, which is a Saturday, here at the Autodrome Interlagos. Sitting not bad here. 31 points round 1, 38 points round 2 for a total of 69 points, man, right? Nice.